That night came like any other, quiet, cold, and unnoticed. No cheering, no flashing cameras, just an empty street, a breeze that whispered through the dark, and a middle-aged man standing alone by the sidewalk, lost in thought. His phone was dead. Cars passed without slowing down. The world, as always, was too busy to stop. Until someone did. His steps were soft. The hood of his jacket cast a shadow over his face. He didn't rush. He didn't stand out. He simply arrived. No announcement. No name. To the disoriented man, he was just a stranger. One who didn't say, "I'm famous," but asked instead, "Do you need help?" And that's how it began. Not with a song, not with a show, but with the simplest and most sacred act of being human, presence. They sat at the edge of the curb, letting time pass without needing to control it. No selfies, no small talk about fame. Just two people exchanging warmth under a cold sky. Only toward the end, after a spare battery was handed over and an emergency call made, did the older man look up, his eyes searching the familiar softness in that voice, the calm strength in his presence. "Wait, are you Jungkook?" The hooded figure didn't smile. He didn't pose. He said nothing. He simply nodded once, a silent reply that seemed to say, "Yes, but that's not what matters right now. Please don't tell anyone." The man, overwhelmed, reached for his phone, wanting to capture the moment, to thank him, to tell the world. But Jungkook gently shook his head. "Please don't tell anyone. I'm just glad you're okay." And with that, he turned and walked back into the night. No entourage, no car, no celebration, just a legacy left behind in silence. That moment could have ended there. And maybe it was meant to. But days later, the older man shared his story anonymously online. No photo, no video, just words, raw, emotional, honest. And the internet didn't respond with skepticism, but with awe. Because even without proof, people felt the truth in his story. And when CCTV footage surfaced from a nearby shop showing Jungkook in the same hoodie, in the same area, the truth was undeniable. Why this story matters. Jungkook didn't need to stop. He had every reason not to. He was on break. He was off duty. He had no obligation. And that's what made it extraordinary. In a world where we record before we react, Jungkook didn't. He didn't film it. He didn't tweet. He didn't boast. He simply helped. And that's what the world can't stop talking about. The media responded. So did the world. Headlines began appearing. Global superstar helps stranger without recognition. Jungkook's quiet act of kindness moves millions. But this time, news anchors didn't just report. They reflected. They asked deeper questions. What does it mean to be famous in today's world? Is Jungkook showing us what real character looks like? Comment sections overflowed with admiration. He's a better man than he is an artist, and that says everything. If this is who he is off camera, then he's the kind of person we all should learn from. But this story isn't just about Jungkook. It's about us. About what we've lost in a culture obsessed with visibility. We've lost the beauty of doing something without showing it. We've lost the power of private integrity. We've lost the holiness of doing good when it's inconvenient, undocumented, unrewarded. And then comes this young man. He could have ignored it. He could have walked away. He could have said, "It's not my problem." But he didn't. And in that choice, he reminded us of who we used to be. A song without a melody. Jungkook didn't sing that night. He didn't dance. He didn't release a single. But he created something more powerful than music. A quiet, invisible melody of humanity. A song not made of sound, but of presence. Not of rhythm, but of compassion. And it played in the hearts of millions. A kind of impact that can never be measured. How many people will be kinder tomorrow because of this story? How many strangers will help each other, inspired by this one silent act? We'll never know. Because impact isn't always counted in clicks, likes, or views. Sometimes, it's measured in the invisible shift of how we treat each other. That is the real power of what Jungkook did. And it will outlive every trophy he's ever earned. This story doesn't end. Because maybe this wasn't the first time. Maybe it won't be the last. Maybe Jungkook helps others quietly all the time. And maybe we'll never hear about it. And that makes it even more beautiful. We always thought he was extraordinary on stage. But now we see, he's even more extraordinary off it. In a world that rewards the loud, he chose silence. In a time that prizes visibility, he chose to be unseen. In an era where applause often drowns authenticity, where the value of a person is measured by clicks and viral moments, he walked the other way. Not out of fear, not out of weakness, but out of strength. Because it takes strength to stay quiet in a room full of noise. It takes courage to do something kind knowing no camera is rolling. And it takes integrity to offer your hand, not for recognition, but because someone, somewhere, silently hoped someone would. Jungkook has always been many things to many people. A voice that comforts, a face that inspires, a talent that shakes the world. But today, we don't thank him for the songs or the fame or the endless stages. Today, we thank him for choosing to be human. In a world built on spectacle, he chose sincerity. In a time where showing up is often performative, he showed up when no one would have noticed if he hadn't. No red carpet, no agency statement, no Instagram filter. Just him, quietly arriving, quietly helping, quietly being kind. And maybe that's the truest form of goodness. To do it not because you'll be remembered, but because someone needed you, and you showed up. We may never know the full story. We may never see the faces he's helped or hear the words spoken in private. But we don't need to. Because true kindness doesn't shout. It doesn't ask to be seen. It simply exists. Like the sun rising even on cloudy mornings. Like a gentle hand reaching through the dark, not for applause, but because it knows someone out there is afraid to be alone. And that is what Jungkook gave the world. Not just music, not just dance, not just flawless performances, but presence. Silent, unwavering, deeply human presence. So thank you, Jungkook. Not for the stadiums you've filled. Not for the records you've broken. Not even for the voice that has comforted millions. But for your heart. For reminding us that being good doesn't require an audience. It only requires intention. In a world chasing the spotlight, you quietly walked through the shadows. And somehow, made them glow.